but you're never gonna be me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking.
Oh my goodness. Hello, one and all, and welcome to another edition of the Geek, Gauntlet podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan. Got a cast of thousands, and when I say thousands, I literally mean thousands. We got a special guest here from GNN and Johnny Lynch. We'll get more into that as we go further with the show, but first, let me bring everybody on. First, she is a writer for GNN, and she is our TikTok and cosplay queen. My girl, let me bring my girl Caddy and Cat. What's going on? How you doing this week?
Oh, I'm tired, but hey, that's what happens when con season kicks off. So yeah,
I live in a place where I would know absolutely nothing about that. I would love to be that tired.
Oh, you give me time. We'll talk after the show. I'll find you events in your area.
Okay, cool. All right, let me bring up my next person. She is my anime buddy. She's a person that I talk to all things anime. Bring my girl Janae in. Janae, what's up? Oh, she done left me for a minute.
Her mic.
She's trying to fix her mic probably. All right, we'll bring her back when she's back on screen. All right, let me bring on the next person. He is the Twitter overlord. He rules Twitter with an iron fist. He also is with GNN as well. Let me bring my man Ambrose in. Ambrose, what's up?
I'm doing a lot better than Silicon Valley banks, I'll tell you that much.
Oh my goodness. All right, let me go ahead. Hopefully we'll get her back. All right, let me bring in our resident streamer. She handles all things video game for us. Let me bring Diamond. Diamond, how you doing?
What up, everyone?
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Good. Chilling.
Doing good.
Let me go ahead and bring in our special guest from GNN. Him and Ambrose got some special things they're gonna go over for us with the network with us tonight. And bring Johnny in. Johnny, what's up?
Hi.
How you doing, man? Good to have you. And last but certainly not least, this man has done this with me for over 3 years. From my man Shaw in. Shaw, what's up?
What's up? How y'all doing, everybody?
Doing good, Shaw. Doing good.
Hello.
Shaw got me watching Picard, and it's like I am really, really enjoying this season so far. Yep. Oh my goodness, it's been so good. If you guys haven't watched it, you guys need to go watch it.
I am a little bit behind, so y'all might have to kind of brief me and catch me up.
Oh, it's been so good. Oh man, we even saw old girl, Shaw. Dog, can't remember her name. Number one's wife.
Troy.
Yep.
Troy.
You saw Troy in the last episode. I was like marking out. Man, it's like, what? All right, I think we got Janae back. Janae, what's up?
Maybe her door back?
I heard her door close. She got some audio going on. There she is.
Yep.
What's going on?
Good. My husband was helping me with my mic and my camera situation.
Oh, cool.
And then my son barged in and it's like, get out.
Nah, you didn't help me now. Get out.
Before we get too far, we actually have a
my son wasn't leaving.
Are you guys pro Thanos snap? I mean, I'm never really against it, depending on who I'm talking to.
Thanos kind of got a point.
I mean, I think we all know that I like my cats and like 3 other people. So there are times when given the option for the Thanos snap, I mean, I would be pro snap. Like, that's why they don't give me a gauntlet with infinity points.
Yeah.
Here's one thing.
Yeah.
If I was given the gauntlet with the stones, I would snap, but I would choose people. Like people who deserve
on that.
I wouldn't make it random.
I feel you.
I wouldn't let innocent people die. I would, people that I thought would screw you.
Well,
I
they
feel
didn't
you on
die.
that.
They just went to a universe not where I'm at. Like, I'd be snapping like I'm at like, oh, what was it? The spoken word.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go ahead and get started with everything. Ambrose, let's start with you. What you got going on with GNN, and then we'll move over to Johnny.
A good amount of stuff going on. Actually, though, Kat and Johnny are doing a lot of my work for me this time because a lot of the stuff on the site is stuff they did. But I will point out something from Andrew Orozco. It's about how anime fans need to watch Mobile Suit Gundam. He always writes Gundam well, so it's a good article to check out. Gundam's a particular thing for a lot of people. And speaking of Johnny Lynch, he also wrote 5 supporting geeky fiction women who stood strong in honor of International Women's Month. So you want to check that out on the site as well. That's actually our headlining article right now. So just go to geeknewsnow.net and it'll be right on top for you to click on and enjoy. That being said, I don't really have... Oh, one more thing before I turn it over to Johnny. March 25th, one of our own is going through a tough time. Devin Stewart, you might know him as Retro and Wolf on Twitter. His cousin's going through a tough battle with cancer. So him and his wife will be doing a 12-hour stream on YouTube for charity. More details to come. I just wanted to point that out to people. So check out Retro and Wolf's Twitch page. Contact Devin for more information, and I will have more information for you. I've been talking with him. I will have more information with you as he gives it to me. So
okay.
Now I turn it over to Johnny for his article.
Johnny, what you got going on, my brother?
Well, in honor of Mario Day on March 10th, that was yesterday, I did a piece that was about what I believe and what I believe GNN fans have declared to be the best NES Mario game, Super Mario Brothers 3. And of the what I would call the NES Mario trilogy, Super Mario trilogy, because I think they had one other Mario game that was not Super Mario.
It was Mario is missing, and we don't talk about that.
What about Dr. Mario?
Very true, but I mean like Super Mario, as in like Super Mario 1, Super Mario 2, and that kind of trilogy. Namesake, I guess. And I just, I felt the idea of, I wanted to talk about something for Mario Day, and I just didn't know what. And then I thought, well, I mean, the anniversary of Mario 2 is this year. I want to say 30, not 30th, 35th? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 35th anniversary of Mario 2 is this year. And I thought, well, I'm going to want to do something when that happens, so I can't really do that on Mario Day this time. And then I thought, well, what's the next best thing? I said Mario 3. And it's one of I think it's arguably the best of the Nintendo Mario games. It has so much to offer.
I would say it's probably top
on Mario 3?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a favorite level on Mario 3? Like when you're going through like some levels, let's just face it, some levels are a lot more fun than others in Mario games.
Well, let me put it this way. I've never made it to the end of Super Mario Brothers 3.
What?
I've tried and tried, but I always fail. I get to World 8. That's not my favorite world, but my favorite world, to answer your question, is Grassland, the first world. That's the intro. That's where it all starts.
I like World beautiful. 4. I like the Giant Land.
Giant Land is pretty cool.
That is cool.
Y'all got me beat. I never played past Mario 2.
Mario 2 is pretty cool. Each one is pretty awesome in its own right. I just, Jonathan Hill, one of our own from the GNN Twitch team, check him out sometime. He said in the post I made at the GNN Greats, where I made the poll, he said, and I'll quote from my article, Super Mario Brothers 3 set a new bar for platform games, the map system, the multiple suit types and power-ups, etc. Technically, it really pushed the limits of the NES toward the end of the system's life cycle, and I think he pretty much hit the nail right on the head.
I think he did too.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like I wouldn't just say it's the best Mario game on the NES. It's one of the best games the NES has put out.
Mm-hmm. I think it's actually.
I
did
put
set
up
a foundation.
I'd put that up with Metroid, and I'd put that up with a bunch of the other games that people call the best. That's definitely top 5.
It set a foundation, that's for sure. That's for sure.
And it was, if I remember correctly, I mean, I certainly put it in my article. From what information I gathered, it was basically the herald of the end of the NES popularity toward the end of its life run before the Super Nintendo came about, which wasn't long after Mario 3 got released in the States. And what a third act to bow out on for the NES, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they really, and if you look at it, it really laid the groundwork out for Mario World. I mean, without Mario 3, you wouldn't have had the map system for Mario World. So they definitely laid it out. I'm getting feedback from somebody. They definitely laid everything out and made it they ended the franchise on a good note.
If there's sound that sounds strange, it might be my heating system. I don't know.
Was it out?
That might be it.
Yeah, that was it. Never mind then.
Sorry about that.
all good, man.
But I was just thinking about Mario. Oh, the greatest Mario is Mario 64. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Good to have you here with us tonight. And that's such a good point because Mario 64 was good.
It was.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't like the controls though. There were better games. The controls on it were a little wonky. I was not a big fan of how the game flowed. In terms of it being 3D and in terms of the groundwork it's set for 3D World and Galaxy, yeah, it has a special place. But the 64 is my least favorite Nintendo system. I hate that control. I hate that controller. Yeah, I hate that controller.
Yeah, I feel you.
See, my parents felt that like video games would rot your brain, so I couldn't have a Nintendo, but I could play as many games as I wanted because computers are educational.
I mean, I think the best controller was the GameCube that they put out.
You might be. I don't know.
That thing melted to your hand, man.
Yeah, it fit pretty good. It did fit pretty good. You don't think the Super Nintendo controller was good?
The Super Nintendo controller was good. I mean, the Nintendo controller is like the Mario 3 controllers. Without that, you don't have the PlayStation controller.
True that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, true that. All right. Well, Johnny, you want to stick around? Want to stick around a little bit longer?
No, I'm good. But thank you very much for having me. It was
you're
a pleasure.
welcome. Anytime, man. Anytime you want to come on, let us know. Yeah. Anytime you want to promote anything for GNN, definitely let us know.
I will. Y'all made it very comfortable.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you so much, my friend. You have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Take care now.
Good show.
Thank you. All right, you guys. That is Johnny from GNN. Good guy. He came up with a good idea, and we need to find a way to implement that. Because his idea was to go to various shops and start highlighting older systems. And I love that idea. So we need to make that happen at some point. You know,
we actually have a chain of shops here called Game Over that pretty much all they sell. So they're a quote unquote like used game seller, but they carry a lot of the old consoles.
Yeah, I have a consignment shop like that here. It's called New to Us, and whenever I need something for my NES, or I was so pissed I missed out on a TurboGrafx 16 2 weeks ago. They put it up on Facebook. I was like, oh my god, the one time I don't check Facebook and you guys have a TurboGrafx. I was like, oh man.
That was how I got my Ice Giants pedestal for Disney Infinity.
I remember having the TurboGrafx back in the day, and I played Slaughterhouse and I loved it. And I loved it. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go ahead and move on further with the show. Shows of the week. Let me do this real quick, and then we'll get into all the shows. I don't care what y'all say though. Flash was trash. Let me go ahead. we also have a special request for as you call them, Ambrose D. Graham. We got a special request. If we get into spoilers, we need to let you guys know. So this is what I came up with. There we go. So
I mean, y'all know what we do here by now. So
I mean, if you haven't seen the shows yet that we talk about, spoilers will be present. Just want to let you guys know that.
I thought I was being locked up again for a second.
All right.
You go back to the joint.
Like we said, we always like to go ahead and get the trash out of the way first. So let's go ahead and talk about this week's episode of The Flash.
Yeah, let's get the trash out the way.
Now,
get the trash out the way.
To make sure I am actually caught up, this is the episode where they actually ended up capturing Ryan, correct? And they saved Homeboy?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm caught up. Yay. Okay. Sorry. After last week, I was a little bit confused as to where I was in the time-space continuum, so I needed to make sure I was on the right episode.
To ensure she was.
In this week's episode, we actually find out that the Red Death that we are seeing is a alternate universe version of Ryan, who many of you know as Batwoman.
She's back
for an episode or two.
Oh my god.
And if you recall the week before's episode that left kind of on a cliffhanger with Ryan showing up at Iris's apartment. And that's how we find out that she's from an alternate universe. And the reason why she's doing this is because the Flash in her universe is evil. So he's like Reverse Flash. He's the bad guy. And he is doing everything he can to wreak havoc in her world. So she's come through to their universe. And as a result of that, she has to get back to her timeline to stop this other Flash from destroying things. Allegedly. I don't know if
we really don't know.
Yeah, she might be lying. I don't know.
Yep.
We also started to see, and I'm blanking on her name, the Flash's stepmom.
Cecile,
yeah. Cecile's powers are now becoming much stronger.
Yep.
Because part of the attack on the city from Red Death resulted in this massive lightning storm, which breaks a window and glass goes flying towards their daughter. Which, once again, proves my point. Children in comic books are just there to be in the way and create a problem and havoc for everybody else. But this did reveal in Cecile's case that her powers are getting stronger because she was able to stop and surround this flying glass shards before they could get to her daughter and kind of stop them in their tracks.
So she's the Invisible Woman?
I don't want to say that. It was more like she was able to use her empath powers to stop the glass.
Oh, okay.
So her powers are evolving beyond just the empathy point. You also, there was a decision to kind of in a way split the family. Which for me as a D&D player, we live by a rule of you never split the party. So we'll see how that pans out at the end of the season. So what did you guys think of this week's episode?
Not as good as it could have been, but it had more than 2 moments. The whole storyline wasn't good.
The only good thing for me was the fact that we got to see her at the end of the show as Batwoman. That was the only thing that really saved it for me. Because I always thought she was better of the two Batwomen. And we got to see her. And she does Batwoman far better than she does Red Death. I mean, Red Death was just
you have to hate the world a certain amount to be a really good villain. I just don't think she hates the world enough.
Yeah.
So they should have just cast me.
Oh my goodness. But I think that was the only good part that we got from it was the fact that she was Batwoman and we saw the Batarang throw down the suit. She fought. I think that was the only good part. Then she met everybody else from Team Flash. I thought it was an interesting dynamic too, where she kind of met the bad guys and she said, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be evil?" And it's like, Barry said, "Long story," and they all laughed and chatted it up and stuff. So,
worst line ever. Worst. I will get to that worst line ever later. But
oh yeah, we get to that later. I thought that was cool, but other than the end part as her as Batwoman, this season so far. See, this is the last season, and this is what Ambrose was pertaining to. This is supposed to be your last season, but yet you give us this trash. It's like you just gave up.
I mean, if I'm not getting more money next season, I'm probably going to give up too.
I mean, I see. Yeah,
I'm going to work my wage at that point and call it a day.
But
yeah, but I mean, don't you want to go out on a good note? A lot of these writers still have to work after this. A lot of the producers still have to produce.
I'm guessing a lot of these writers probably already have new gigs lined up. Kind of like how it happened with Game of Thrones, which that didn't work out as well for them as they'd hoped. A lot of those writers, when the show was canceled, like they already had new gigs set up.
Yeah, there was a great pitch meeting episode about that. They were like, "You can have more time. We can give you more time." And they're like, "That's not necessary. We're fine." And they're like, "No, seriously, you want like 4 more episodes to flesh this out?" No, we're good. We're good with the 8.
Ambrose, as being a fan of The Flash, as long as it's not Ezra Miller, how'd you feel about this episode?
I haven't been watching the show because I tuned out after season 5 because it just wasn't. The CW shows have a production life, man, and it's like once you hit like I said, a show's make or break season is usually around 4, and you can tell the direction the show is going to go in, and it just wasn't going in the direction I wanted it to go in, so I just stopped watching.
Okay,
Janae's having some issues with her internet, but she is still with us in the chat. I think she was forcing it too when she was playing with I think she was trying to and she didn't like the fight scene at the end.
I'm just saying, like at the end when they were having their little banter about like, "Oh, it's good to see you," and blah blah blah, "This is Batwoman," and it's like, wow, like, are things always this exciting in Central City? Oh, it's.
I thought it was interesting too.
I'm like, really?
I thought it was interesting too. Did y'all catch it? Barry made a speed shield.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the?
Well,
really?
And Keoli actually has powers.
Yeah. And a speed shield? Really? And then the way we already had lightsabers. I'm shocked they hadn't been sued for that. And then we had Chester go all crazy about Batwoman. She's so badass. She's so bad. He was marking out. So
poor Batgirl is like still canceled.
All right. Well, speaking of lightsabers, since you brought it up, how about this episode of The Mandalorian?
I've only seen episode 1, so I got to catch up.
It was pretty good.
It was good. I thought it was good. I thought I like the direction it's going in. A little bit slow paced for my liking. I'm hoping it picks up a little bit. But
they can't have lore and story when it's just bang bang snack snack vroom, vroom, all the time.
I want guns. Not one person has been shot yet, Kat. Not one. This is a travesty.
That's not true. He shot the little creatures in the cave.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Over my husband's setup.
It's all
good. But what I want to know, and I brought this up on the Geek Gauntlet, I want to know why they were like, "You're not a Mandalorian until you purify yourself," and why wasn't he just like, "Dark lightsaber, you're not a Mandalorian"?
Because
he's going by the old way.
Well, so yeah, his clan of Mandalorians does not recognize the dark saber.
Yeah.
Well, they would if he used it.
No, because so one thing and I think we touched on this. Mandalorians are yes, they all originally came from Mandalore. But when you get into the lore of things, which nobody wants to get into because they didn't have lore in their bedrooms with their dolls.
Damn.
So,
Damn.
Action figures, Cat.
Damn.
Action figures. They were
Okay.
action figures.
Yes, I know. My Barbie action figure, she had a job too. But,
Oh.
I love you, Kat.
so when Mandalore kind of fell apart, you had certain Mandalorians that were part of the clones that broke off into separate tribes. And some tribes, such as the tribe that Bo-Katan is from, they recognize power, they recognize certain rituals. That's why they recognize the dark saber. So if Bo-Katan returned with the dark saber to her clan, they would recognize her as the leader. For the clan that
Din Djarin.
I'm going to be like the mechanic lady. Can't pronounce his last name. Din Djarin. I finally could roll
Din
it off.
Djarin.
They
Hispanic Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, they recognize more in a ritualistic sort of way. So more of it like a Native American or First Nation people. Mm-hmm. They see things such as the water from Mandalore as a way to purify you from the ways of the outside world and bring you back to your true core as a Mandalorian. That's why they don't ever take off their masks, where Bo-Katan, various other tribes and sections of Mandalore don't follow those same rules.
See, I couldn't be in that tribe. I'd be like, it's hot. I gotta take this mask off. Like,
it's like cosplaying. Eventually, you just get used to it.
I mean, I'm an alcoholic and I can't drink through this thing. No.
You get a straw. You get a straw. You put it right up below. You get drunk faster. Go ahead. I've got solutions for excuses all day long.
My husband said, why, since he was going to get purified anyway, why not just leave the helmet off until he got to Mandalore to go to the water? But I was like, it's the principle.
See,
right.
The
fact that he had to take it off in the first place brought him shame.
No, the thing that got me, guys, and you know, like I said, in the new Star Wars lore, I'm not where, you know, people like, you know, Debbie and Ambrose and Kat are at, but the thing that got me, I was watching.
Don't put me on the same level as Debbie. I am so far behind her. I'm so far behind her in that race. I think I'm winning.
But the thing that got me, guys, that got me intrigued, I think I was listening to Can't Take the Happy Hour, which you can find on the GNA YouTube channel every Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central. I think they were talking about Bad Batch, and they mentioned ice gargoyles. And from that point forward, that makes me want to watch Bad Batch. I gotta see them. I gotta see them.
But what I want to know is, though, they never really, because I'm into Clone Wars now, and I'm only on season 4, but we never really see the destruction of Mandalore, and I'm kind of confused because when you watch Clone Wars, only the bad guys are wearing the masks. So what happened to all the other actual people?
Keep watching.
Yeah. And you also have to realize bounty hunters, let's face it, Din Djarin is being painted in a very, very good light as far as bounty hunters go.
Nothing wrong with it. It's a respectable profession.
You're right. It's an absolutely respectable profession, just like being an assassin and a capo for the mob.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting rid of people that people don't
sound like it's so amazing.
People don't want these people around anyway.
This is an amazing spot to be in. This is an amazing job.
I could have an entire conversation that makes you think that taking up a life of crime is the way to go.
Damn.
I mean, you're getting rid of people no one is gonna miss. It's not really a problem. I mean, it's like if you've ever seen The Third Man, the guy's on the Ferris wheel. He's like, really? If one of those dots down there disappeared, are you going to tell me you'd feel sad?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that is why, for the longest time, until
what up, Dan?
They did the
Prisoners
Mandalorian
coming, man.
to shut us up about being like, so where are Bane and Revan? Where are our Sith? So they gave us the Mandalorian, but to appease the Skywalker tribe, they had to make him like give him redeeming qualities and make him a good guy. Mm-hmm. So they had him not just turn over Baby Yoda and be like, "Yo, credits."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think with the Skywalker saga, they need to just finally wrap it in a bow, throw it in a trunk, throw some
Skywalker. It's the cult of Skywalker, because there are too many people out there that are like, "Oh, the Skywalkers, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. We're Skywalkers, we're not worthy." And they run around like little, like the Ewoks. They've so toned them down. Ewoks are some of the most vicious, cannibalistic creatures on the planet. They made them cute and cuddly. Now, mind you, I might find an Ewok cute and cuddly.
It's like a bunch of midget. It's like a bunch of midget cocaine bears.
Yes.
Damn. I ain't seen that movie yet either. I gotta go see that movie.
Where do you think that they got the stormtrooper helmets they were using for drums?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think they got a full-size dress for Leia?
True. Yeah. Those stormtroopers didn't just set their helmets down and be like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Yeah.
Like.
Good one, Dad. Good one.
No, Yee? You're gonna let Yee stay, but not the Kardashians? Come on. Kardashians
Hey,
and
Yee actually made Alex Jones make sense. I mean, he serves some kind of purpose in this world. I don't know.
So, anyway, back to the actual Mandalorian story.
Wait, rails.
Yeah. Off.
I think rails like a train in Ohio. I mean, I'm sorry. Sorry. I'll behave.
That train crashed really hard into Cleveland.
Very fast, too. Oh my goodness.
Universe, here I come. All right. Now back on the tracks. Like we want
waka.
All right, putting the show back on its tracks. Click.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. What did you think of the episode?
Who are you referring to?
William.
Oh,
okay.
I didn't see it.
Okay, never mind.
I know. Shaw, did you watch it?
Yep, I did.
What you think, Shaw?
Which thoughts?
It was good. I mean, they were in a pretty tough spot, falling into the anomaly. They found out the anomaly was living, that there was some eggs sprouting. We saw some really interesting aliens. That was really good. They got out. You know, we have some history about Picard and him and Jack did meet at one point, but it's a little complicated. We find out that Shaw was at Wharf 359. That's why he doesn't like Picard, because he was there. He was a cadet.
Oh, yeah, he did say that in that episode. Yep.
Yeah.
Did we skip past Mandalorian? I'm sorry.
I think Shaw did.
That's all right.
All right. No, I just want to make sure I'm on track.
I derailed the Mandalorian train. Let's not go on to Picard. Let's go.
I'm sorry. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
No. I was just trying to catch up.
But Shaw, the thing that made it so good, to me, was the fact of just how everybody was written to be back in the story and how they were just seamlessly written into it. That's the thing that makes it incredible to me.
Yeah, I agree.
The fact that you've had these characters that we haven't seen in forever, and you just bring them back, and they all make sense to be in the story. That's the thing that makes it amazing to me.
This is just the beginning. We still got Jordy to come back. We still got a couple others.
We're not done. So,
there's only episode 3, right?
Yep. So in order to see that, it was just incredible to me, and it's a good series. I tried to pick it up on season 2, but I was so late in the story that I couldn't. But now that I'm back watching it in the early going, it's a little bit easier to keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it gives me the excuse to keep my Paramount Plus subscription, because that thing sure is about to be gone.
Right.
Well,
am I the only person that likes my Paramount Plus subscription?
Well, I mean, if they'd actually put that subscription money into, I don't know, like making it not take dial-up time to load.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
if if you're gonna charge me that kind of money,
I mean,
I shouldn't be waiting to hear the AOL tone.
I mean, I don't understand how my kids' Paw Patrol episodes load up at the click of a button, but like my shows, it's like, what the hell? Where's my show?
Now,
because they know that children cannot wait.
Cat, you mean this sound?
Yes, like subconsciously every time I'm loading up Paramount Plus, like that's what I hear in my head because it takes that long.
It doesn't really do that for me because mine's through my Amazon, but it still takes a little bit to load. But
that's what I hear in my head when my wife tells me to do something.
Oh, so you're the guy who, the connection cuts out when the picture gets halfway loaded, like it loads right here. Then
Yeah.
it cuts off and you got to start over.
It'll be like I clean.
What I'm talking about.
It'll be like I cleaned the ferret cage. I told you to clean the basement. I don't know.
I'm just out. I mean, I clean something. All right, be happy.
So y'all just rail like Norfolk Southern train again. Quick question with Picard, because I mean, there's some news here that Robert Beltran actually turned down a role in Picard.
Yeah.
Because of the Seven and Chakotay romance.
Yeah. So Robert Beltran played Chakotay in Voyager, and at the very last episode, there was a relationship between him and Seven.
I remember that.
Yeah, He decided not to come back to continue that.
Mm.
Okay.
All right.
Is the host of Beyond Belief Factor Fiction back on the show?
I don't know who that was.
I think that was Stryker.
Oh yeah. He's on. He's been on for a while.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Matter of fact, the last episode he directed.
Yep.
Nice.
Had his name in the credits and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Woo woo. All right. So The Last of Us. Once again, Kat's been in a little bit of a time loop. So this was the one with the creepy pedophile guy, right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna call it that.
Wow.
No, it was Dahmer People Nommer.
Still,
Pedophile in this show?
It's venison.
You didn't pick up on that?
The hell?
You didn't?
The hell? Wow.
Wow.
I
All
never
right.
had a
All right.
pedophile in this
So
show.
it's a list.
Wow.
I didn't pick up on the.
You didn't pick up on. Okay.
Full disclosure,
You know what?
I haven't watched the episode yet. Full disclosure.
Now, you know what though? Now that she's pointing it out,
But
and
now
now
that-
I'm like Samsonite. Wow.
Yeah.
Now y'all got
Okay.
now y'all got me. Now
roll that for a minute.
Now y'all got me.
People.
Now y'all got me wanting to watch it.
So
No, you don't. It's creepy.
in this particular episode,
I was very uncomfortable watching that episode.
Wow.
Ellie is in a
Pedophile,
situation where
ugh.
she has no choice but to go out and find food, find something to help Joel. In the process of this, she runs across 3 men who are out hunting who are from a different community than the one where Joel's brother is, and they were helpful, etc. And they decide that after they found, and because she had killed a deer and she was hunting that deer down.
Mhm.
But these people, of course, like a lot of communities during this type of event, they're running out of food. And as someone who has lived in Wyoming, that is easy to have happen. I mean, at least in that type of setting, when you don't have like a grocery store.
Mhm.
Not as many animals are out. You have to hunt. You're hunting in very rough conditions. And the animals are better at hiding than you are. So, as a result of this, she pulls a gun on them.
Oh.
And is like, here, I'll share it with you guys. But these are the things I need in exchange.
Should have put out the gag.
And one of the things that she exchanges for is penicillin. So there's this conversation, and you've seen some conversations back at this community where you have a very religious community where their leader feels that he is a father figure to all of these young women. which was a little odd.
Samsonite. I was way off.
And I honestly, I didn't pick up on it right away until he sat down next to the girl whose father had recently passed as one of the party that had attacked Ellie and Joel.
Mhm.
And it was the way he put his hand on her and said, "Don't worry, you'll always have a father."
Oh Lord.
Oh
Lord. That is creepy.
Oh, it gets creepier. That was the tip of the iceberg.
No, dude, he really did look like Dahmer People Nommer.
Yeah, and I think that's
Like,
well, and he was that too, but then he's even creepier than that.
Maybe enough. Two.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Damn.
So Ellie gets the medicine to Joel, but these guys are like, "Hey, we need to find her and her people because her obviously her and the man she's with are the ones that killed our people, and our people want justice." So they get there. Ellie barricades Joel in and distracts them to get away. But in the process, they shoot the horse, which then throws her and basically gives her a concussion.
Yep.
Knocks her unconscious. And they take her back to we'll call it the commune. Why not? You know, because really, if you put the combination of the everybody's daddy and the cannibalism, you get a little more helter skelter. So we're getting into a little bit more like Manson territory here. Sorry.
What?
Yeah. So they've got her locked up, and he's talking to her, and he's explaining to her that, you know, she's a strong survivor, and their community needs survivors, and together they can help build a stronger community that is fruitful. And that's where she breaks his finger.
Yeah, he's clearly trying to do the G word that gets you banned. Yeah, that gets you banned from YouTube. But yes, that word.
Yeah.
He's setting it up to groom her, and I think he wants a sister wife.
Yeah.
Or something, you know.
Yeah.
So. God damn, you pointed that out. I'm so mad I missed that aspect of it.
Yeah. Dads, like, watch more on that.
I mean, no, because I was just watching because it's the episode, give or take a couple of action sequences that they had to cut, obviously for time. Right. It's the episode that is Diamond. I don't know if you've played Last of Us. To me, it was the episode that's the most accurate to the game, right down to the fire at the end. It was like, wow, they really just ripped from the game, and they gave the fans. They gave the fans what they were looking for.
Part of what may have added to that too, right? The guy who got cleavered was the voice actor that does Joel in the game.
Yeah. Wow. I gotta watch
there was another actor that that did a voice in the game too. I forgot who it was. They've been bringing in the voice. The guy that was in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Who was the deputy, I guess, to the other girl that was the head of the rebels. He was the voice of Tommy.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this show because I put it on my list of things to watch, and I always seem to forget it. I gotta get caught up.
So I do kind of like how they're bringing in people from the game and giving them these little cameo spots and But it was the most true to form. As far as the adaptation goes, it's the most faithful episode to the game I've seen so far. And right now, I don't really care. It's a good show, and I know they have to change things for people that don't watch. I think I'm giving feedback. I don't know if you guys are getting it. But they're doing a really good job towing the line for people that haven't played the game and people that have. And I'm really just satisfied with the show so far.
All right.
Shaw, did you catch that one? Did you catch Last of Us?
I did not see Last of Us. I'm like way behind.
Yeah, I gotta watch it because now y'all got me curious.
Yeah.
All right.
don't eat anything heavy before you watch this episode. It gets you kind of queasy.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I'm fine. I can like eat spaghetti and watch people like dissect things. It's fine.
I was fine, but like I instantly regretted dinner. I was like, oh.
See, I'm like the kid that, like, when I saw killed monkey brains in like Indiana Jones, I was like, oh, how do I make
Cat's
that?
like Evelina for He-Man.
Saw movies.
Yeah, but that's like something that I'd actually eat if it was presented to me. Like, I don't dig like, oh, it's venison this time. No, it's not. It is not venison. That is not venison.
I
Cat is like
drink blood of my
Evelina from
enemies.
He-Man.
So I mean,
she's Evelina. That's what you are, Cat. You're Evelina from He-Man. That's who you are. Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying it's a very common belief that if you eat the heart of your defeated warriors, you gain their strength.
Okay, can you eat Kevin Smith's heart and make He-Man good again?
But I like Kevin Smith. He's not in the category of my enemies.
I like Kevin Smith from like 20 years ago, but now he just cries at Star Wars trailers and ruins He-Man.
We'll get into He-Man in a little bit, but the first thing I want to ask, Janae, do you have any anime news for this week? I don't know if you did.
Do.
Okay.
Kat helped me with some stuff during an interview with Michael B. Jordan. He listed his top 5 anime picks, and I personally think very generic. Is One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, and Hunter x Hunter. And so it's like,
hell yeah, generic.
Those are all just
generic as hell.
It's like the top 5 basic bitch anime.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Hey, man.
It's just like nothing.
There you go.
Like,
that's what it is.
I was actually surprised he didn't put Attack on Titan on there.
Or Cowboy Bebop.
That to my watch list of all animes.
What was that, Diamond?
Let me just remove those animes from my watch list. I'm funny.
I still think
No. Michael B. Jordan is like Michael B. Jordan is like closer to my generation of anime.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when he's giving that list, though, it's like these are the 5 that I've heard recently.
Right.
Like he hasn't actually watched them. It's like, oh, this is just what I hear people talk about.
Right.
But at least own it. Like, I'll tell you, I don't normally watch anime. The anime I've watched, I've liked. I have 2 animes that I really like, Trigun and Cowboy Bebop. But I'm not an anime fan. You know, at least own it. Don't just don't list animes.
Exactly. Just don't list just to be safe.
And then you have those people out
like
of the woodworks.
Go ahead.
Or then you have those people out of the woodworks and Twitter like, "Oh, what episode have you watched?" Or like, "Have you seen this part?" And they're like, "I don't know."
I don't know.
I don't memorize all of it.
plus, how safe with that list? How safe can you be?
Well, I joked with Kat. I'm like, that would have been hilarious if he would have said Food Wars.
That would have been funny. That would have been funny, and people would have been questioning his sexuality at the same time.
Like, that would have been hilarious.
That would have been funny. That would have been funny for real.
Damn it, Wallace.
Damn it, man.
What was my other thing? There was another one. There's going to be, they've officially announced that there's going to be 4 brand new episodes starting in September for the 20th anniversary for Naruto. And the Naruto debuted in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll begin, the stuff will begin in July.
Naruto's all right.
In Japan.
Right.
In Japan.
So I have to ask, as someone who's never watched Naruto, is it going to be more than 4 new episodes of Naruto running? That's all I know about Naruto.
All I know is my kid Naruto runs. I tell her to pump her arms.
Naruto, Naruto, or if you say Naruto's all right.
I tried watching the anime. I was only able to read up to like 10 from the manga because that's how many my brother had before he moved out. But I've tried watching the anime, and it's very like fan
Is
base.
manga better than the anime?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah,
It's like, so I wish I would have just watched or read the manga. The rest
hell
of the
yeah.
manga.
There's so much bad anime that the manga trumps. I can't stand the anime version of Black Clover. Can't stand it. But the manga's a little bit.
So that it's like,
But the manga's a little bit better. A little bit. It still sucks. The manga and anime both suck, but all right.
And then I have the top 10 anime for the week. Number one is Tomo-chan is a girl, which I find it's a very funny comedy. This tomboy is trying to get her crush to notice her as a girl because they grew up together and she was such a tomboy that he didn't even know she was a girl till they hit middle school and she was wearing an actual girl outfit because in elementary school you can wear whatever the heck you want, but middle school and high school you have to wear uniforms in Japan. So she always wore boys' clothes basically in elementary school, so her friend thought she was a boy. So that anime is hilarious.
We've seen that trope before.
Number two, which I
Isn't
haven't.
that like the ponytail and glasses thing from
We've
like
seen that trope
American
before,
movies?
too. We've seen that trope before too in Sailor Moon.
Well, she also always wore her hair short too.
Yeah.
So, and her dad runs a dojo and everything, so she fought and that, and she was very rough and tumbled and things like that. So, number two, I've never heard the number two and number three. I've never heard of these two animes. Was The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. Number three is The Miracle Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. That's one whole.
The hell?
That sounds like a harem anime.
How the hell do you that got harem screaming all over it?
Right?
That's one of those things where it's like you hit if they still had a TV guide channel, you'd be like,
Sometimes
how the hell do you SEO that? How the hell do you promote that? That's a long ass title.
4 is Blue Lock, and I believe that is a soccer shonen anime.
See, I can't get down. I don't know about y'all, but I can't get down with them sports animes.
I don't understand them.
I can't get down with sports animes.
For sports anime wise, it's very I've like never been into volleyball, but watching Haikyuu, I was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that volleyball was this an intense sport.
The one about the gym, I got into that one because it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because you had like the two girls that were like polar.
I know what you're talking about. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. I know exactly which one you're talking about. That one's good. Yes, that's awesome.
Number 5 was Bongo's Stray Dogs 4. Number 6 was Vinland Saga Season 2.
Yes.
7 was Damachi 4 Part 2. My Hero Academia Season 6. 9 was Buddy Daddies. And 10 was The Ice Guy and Cool Female Colleague. So those are the
Saga should be right.
Are we sure that's not H anime?
Hey, Vinland Saga should have been up higher.
Where is Lupin the Third?
Right?
Oh hell no! He done went back to the day.
This is current anime, not old anime.
He done went back to the day on me. Damn. Lupin the Third. I ain't heard that in a minute.
Right?
Damn.
All right, I've watched 3 animes.
Damn, I ain't heard Lupin the Third in a minute.
So much trouble nowadays.
I will say this though. I'll say this though, and maybe I'm kind of telling on myself a little bit, but to me, the older anime, it means more because the storyline back then was better. It was more original. It wasn't all this harem bait stuff. I mean, I'm down. I'm down for a good.
We
anime.
never say go to fan service.
Right? That have some of it in there. But when it's just based off it itself, I can't get down with that. Shit Hero to me was great until they brought out that Rough Tayu girl, and they really started emphasizing on her.
I think also the old anime meant more to us because we had to wait like 60 days to get it from Japan.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
We
sad.
So like
appreciated
it was
it
like
more.
months between episodes.
Right. We appreciated it more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't have Crunchyroll back in the day.
Nope. No Funimation either. But a little fan service I'm all right with, but when you base it all by it, even High School DxD, as much fan service as we got in that, you at least got a good story from it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but then High School of the Dead was opposite of that. It had so much fan service that it was destroying the story.
Yeah. It really was, with exception of that one scene.
I mean, fan service just gives me great memes. Like that's really.
I mean, hell, Sailor Moon had fan service.
Yeah. Still had a story though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, every time a Sailor Scout transforms, fan service. You know.
And it's very toned down for America, though.
Yeah, it was. And then we never got Starlights.
There's no like cleavage and stuff.
Yeah. And then we never got Starlights either, which I thought was kind of interesting. We didn't get that till much later on the streaming services. Much later.
What, you mean all animated shows aren't for kids?
Right.
Oh hell no. Oh hell no. You
what?
Oh no, Cat! You just
Cat has started a whole new bag.
I've been letting my kid watch South Park.
Oh, that's fine.
You all right with South Park?
Is
That
that-
ain't nothing, man.
is
That
that
ain't
why
nothing,
she
man.
keeps
My
telling
kids
me-
watch South Park.
Is that why she keeps telling me to go fuck myself?
My
I thought
kids watch
because
South
she was repeating
Park.
what you said. I thought because she was repeating after you.
Every time,
Oh,
every time I play Sonic, every time I play a Sonic game and I intentionally get Tails killed, Daddy, you let Tails die here because my daughter, you bastard. I mean, you know, I'm just saying.
No, me and my wife are both foul mouthed. We have like a thing though, because my curses usually come with hyphens. So if my daughter comes in and she's like, "Oh, good job, F stick," it's like, okay, yeah, that was you.
Dang,
But like if she just straight up curses, it's like I look at my wife, I'm like,
you.
was you who did it.
You. All
All
right,
right.
Janae. Thanks, Janae. We appreciate that. Diamond, you got any video game news for us?
Mm-hmm. So, Warner Bros. Delayed Suicide Squad again
I saw that.
to
That
add more
pissed me
color.
off. Why are you waiting?
It was probably because of the backlash that they received for the most recent trailer with
Mm.
the microtransactions and having to hide behind like a DLC pack.
That's a good point.
The world
That's a good
nowadays.
point.
look, and
Have they never
what?
played a game by EA?
Right?
That's all these games are.
Yeah,
Microtransactions.
EA is just pretty much propped up by Madden at this point, and they have to get money from somewhere. So you have to.
That's why I stopped buying them. Ain't nothing but
Yeah.
a Watcher update.
I don't really buy anything from EA. There hasn't been a game I've really like. EA, Ubisoft sucks, but I've been like, okay, you know, there's some Ubisoft games I'll
You can at
buy.
least deal with it. You can at least deal with it.
Assassin's Creed, Rayman, they have a
Yeah.
library that I'll take.
Yeah. You can at
But
least deal with Ubisoft.
EA is like they're a relic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Diamond.
So Starfield has also been delayed with that it has a set release date for September 6th, 2023.
We'll see what
All
happens
these
on
games
September
being
6th.
delayed. I mean, I guess we can appreciate the fact that they want to get it right, but damn.
I mean, they also have like an extended look of the game that's coming in June, around E3.
Okay. Okay. Maybe E3 can make sense of some of this stuff.
Depending on who participates.
Right.
So Nintendo has had a whole entire Mario Day for Nintendo Direct.
Happy
Which
belated
showed off-
Mario Day.
Yeah, which showed off the trailer for the new movie, which is
Cool.
awesome.
Cool. Cool.
We're also getting another Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkai 4.
Yeah. Go. Yes. Yes. It's been some years, but yes.
Oh, I was asking my friend, like, hasn't it been 15 years? He like folded. He was like so ashamed. He's like, "Oh, you made me feel so old, Diamond." I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to." So I told him that,
Tenkaichi 3 was so good.
yeah, I haven't played them though, but I'm like, I want to play.
Oh my gosh, you hadn't played 3. Oh, you had the fusions on there and everything. Oh my gosh.
Perfect with the fusions, though, didn't you? Because I remember watching my brother play that, and he gets so mad if it wasn't exactly right.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, they were on the game. They were on there. You had a lot of BoJack's gang on there too.
So RoboCop Rogue City has some gameplay out, and from the people behind, and it's from the people behind the recent Terminator game.
Cool.
RoboCop deserves a good game.
RoboCop still hasn't saved Detroit.
As you can see now, Exhibit A.
Would you really like? I mean, Detroit has the Lions. Are they really worth saving? Like, they have the Lions.
Hey, that's a good argument.
I mean, they have the Lions and bad cars.
Yep. That's a good point. Anything else you got, Diamond?
Apparently, Sony is more paranoid than ever about the Xbox now owning Call of Duty, with Sony now saying that since Microsoft now owns Call of Duty, they will allow Call of Duty on PlayStation, but Microsoft can also release it in a more buggy and crappier state that basically hurts the competition.
Facts.
Yeah, they're
and that's petty. That's petty. I get it, but it's petty.
No, Sony is piggybacking off of that. Sony's going all in. I read about that yesterday. They are not signing a deal. Microsoft wants them to sign a long-term deal, and they're dead set on nixing the purchase.
Well, so here's my argument though. So if they're upset about Call of Duty being an Xbox exclusive, are they going to give a Final Fantasy to Microsoft?
Right.
No.
It's like a trade.
Or like Tekken.
Yeah, but that's my whole thing is you
Tekken
can't
2,
get mad about they're not mad about Halo being a Microsoft exclusive.
But that's different because Final Fantasy wasn't ever on the Xbox.
But here's the thing: if you want to complain about exclusivity,
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah,
early days.
Mm-hmm. It was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You have to be willing to give up your exclusivity too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the problem Nintendo ran into going into the mid-90s. Nintendo made a lot of enemies, locking things up and boxing people out in the 80s. And
That's
Sony's running into that now.
Well,
and
Sony so proprietary. I mean, everything with Sony, from their camcorders to their videos, part of what killed Sony Electronics was that they were more proprietary than an Apple Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
They made that their bread and butter of people are going to want our name. Well, guess what? You didn't keep up the product quality for people to be I'm that loyal to Sony.
Right.
But
you created that for yourself. And then when it went into software.
Yeah, and history. I'm sorry to cut you off. You finish up. I'm sorry.
I mean, historically, they've always had titles there are more Sony exclusive titles than there are Microsoft exclusive titles.
There are.
You can't really claim a monopoly if you're doing the same thing, but you're not willing to give some of what you've had or now made proprietary up.
But to somewhat agree with Kat on that is history repeats itself, and Sony was mad at Nintendo for turning its back on them and abandoning their partnership. And Nintendo did the same thing Sony's doing now. Nintendo, throughout the 80s, they would threaten people that sold video games. They would say, hey, if you do anything with the Sega Master System, we're not giving you the Nintendo seal of quality. And that seal of quality meant a lot. And Sony is the exclusive holy grail now. But Microsoft, with the chip shortage, got a leg up with the Game Pass, and they're coming back on it. And now Sony doesn't really know. I wrote an article about this last week. Sony's getting punched in the mouth, and they don't know how to deal with it.
Well, then they need to quit acting like the crying kid on the playground.
Because Microsoft,
share their toys.
Microsoft figured it out. They had the Game Pass. They said, people don't have access to the systems. Let's let them play it on their PC. Let's figure out a way to circumvent this shortage.
What they also did, they went back in and they made these games so they would be backwards compatible.
Yeah,
to the Xbox One. PlayStation was like, no, we made it for PlayStation 5. We only want it available for PlayStation 5 because they have the PlayStation Network. They basically have their own Game Pass.
When PlayStation 5, when they announced the launch, and when PlayStation 5 announced the launch, they promised us it would be compatible all the way back to the One.
Oh yeah, they did, and they never did that.
And they never did it.
And to this day, there's hardly anything to play on that damn system.
Yeah, and so they ultimately, in my opinion, so Sony did the freshman in high school thing. He went up, he kicked the senior in the shins, that senior pummeled him and stuffed him in a garbage can.
Oh no!
Then he went to the principal and was like, "They're being mean to me." That is what Sony is doing.
No, I mean I agree. I think the Microsoft they bought Activision, and I think Microsoft doesn't. The thing is, Microsoft doesn't have to offer Call of Duty. Microsoft can just say, "F you, we're keeping Call of Duty. People are going to buy our systems, and you know what? Nintendo's playing ball." So we'll give the Switch a Call of Duty. We'll give the Switch Call of Duty for 10 years. But if you want to keep doing this, we're going to bury you.
And I don't understand. I don't mean to cut you off, Ambrose, but I don't understand how the hell you put Call of Duty on a 30 frame per second system.
It's going to look like crap.
It's going to look like trash. Straight trash.
Dude, and you can't
because
each other's moms through the Switch.
Yeah, but the thing is,
that's the main draw of Call of Duty is 12-year-olds telling each other what they're going to do to each other's mothers.
And who play? I'm saying this as a Nintendo fan. Who is the primary owner of a Switch? 12-year-olds that want to play Call of Duty.
But it's not going to have the multiplayer capability in the same way that it does on Xbox. Like, that's the thing I don't think Nintendo understands. The Call of Duty actually has a decent story if you play the story mode.
Yeah.
Most people do not.
True.
They play the game so they can talk trash.
Right.
I actually had to play the story mode because I bought Call of Duty on the Wii U. So yes.
Oh, you had to on the Wii. You had to on the Wii U.
So maybe that's the case. Maybe you can only play story mode. Like they're aiming for people that want story mode. But most Call of Duty players, which is why I think it's hilarious they're putting it on the Switch, because the Switch, to my knowledge, you can't hook like a headphones up to it and like multiplayer.
Oh no, you can.
You can.
Okay.
You can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, then.
But it's an inferior. It's an.
I have the frame rate.
But no, it's an inferior system.
Yeah, I mean,
way inferior. Way inferior. Even they came up with the OLED, and it's still 30 frames per second.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like, why would you even want to play Call of Duty on a Switch?
I mean, that's why, like, I'm a huge MLB The Show fan, and when I have a Switch and a PS5, and it's like, why would I buy the MLB game for the Switch? I mean, it would be cool to play it on the go, but even with crossplay, if I play someone on PlayStation, they're going to know what I'm doing 10 moves in advance. Like,
yeah, and I mean, no kid wants to sit in the back of his parents' car screaming at the other people playing Call of Duty because their mom's going to reach back and smack them and wash their mouth out with soap.
I mean, personally, that happened to me regardless, so I really wouldn't care. But,
I mean, and I think that's a reason why people play League of Legends, because I was into League of Legends for a while. And the reason why I got out of League of Legends because the community is so damn toxic. It ain't even funny. I mean, they were cussing, talking about your mama, your daddy, your sister, you.
But it's like more of a humbling experience when you like walk in and you think you're top shit, and then someone talks mad shit about you. You're just like, okay.
Yeah, but you have to realize though, back in the day, with like when Xbox Live launched, we were brutal to each other.
That is true.
That hasn't changed.
That is
we
true.
were recklessly brutal to each other. It was like no holds barred. You didn't get banned. There were no complaints. It was like, if I see this guy in real life, I'm punching him in the mouth.
Yeah.
So a few years back, I was over at a friend of mine's house, and her son wanted to play Halo with me. No, he wanted to show me this cool new tactic that he learned in Halo.
What's up, man?
And essentially, it was the same thing we've been doing since Halo came out in multiplayer, and it was teabagging each other. And I was like, hold on, give me your controller, kid. Let me show you how we do it. And he was like, he looked at me, he's like, oh, I thought that was something new. I was like, nah, boyo. Like, I'm like, hold on, let me get the screenshots of this too for you while you got it.
Dom, you got anything else for us?
Yeah. So PlayStation or Discord is now available on PlayStation 5.
Didn't they go through a because I thought I saw when I logged in, they came out with a new terms and conditions too.
Yeah, it's like a whole new so with the update, it came with like quality of life folder.
Yeah, Ando, what's up, man?
Ando, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, bro!
Happy birthday, Ando!
He's 21.
Yay! It came out with like a VR filter for games, along with the refreshing rate of 1440p, which is like the top tier rate.
Which you should have been there already, but that's just me.
But yeah, that's the entirety of it. Also, like Halo Infinite Season 3 is available now.
Oh, cool. But you know what though? Every now and again, I'm finding myself taking my Sega Dreamcast out, playing Halo Wars. I love that game for some reason. I love that game. All right, let's move forward. Kat, what else you got?
Well, we got some more news from the MCU. Marvel Studios is creating their very first original MCU superhero ever. In What If Season 2, it's going to introduce a new hero known as Kahori during Phase 5.
Oh yeah, that's the Indian character, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love this idea.
Me too.
I love it.
You need to break up the stagnant.
You need to break up the stagnant. I'm tired of I'm tired of them getting lazy and just being like, oh, we have no ideas. Race swap this character, gender swap this character, whatever.
So with that though, throughout a lot of, if you get into the comics, deep into the comics, there are a lot of characters that through the multiverse that Marvel has always had.
Yeah.
That there has been a lot of gender and race swap.
Okay, yeah, you have Ultimate and you have 616, and that's fine. Yeah, okay, I agree with that.
Marvel's always had quite a bit of diversity. Even when they were told, we don't want you to write about diversity and inclusion issues, the X-Men is a prime example of this. Because when they wrote Professor X and Magneto, they were written to represent Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. So,
I know.
The whole complaint that, there's too much gender swapping, race swapping in Marvel, it's always happened across the multiverses.
That's true.
Yeah, but it was, you had 616 Nick Fury and you had Ultimate Nick Fury. You had 616 Colossus, you had Ultimate Colossus.
True.
You
but then
still had the characters.
Thor and Loki. Those two have swapped gender, race, species, everything else throughout the comics.
They're gods, and they must be crazy.
I'm just saying, I definitely agree that, when it comes to inclusion, it's better to create a character to represent what you want to represent. But I feel that some of the outrage people feel about Marvel doing what Marvel has done for decades.
I'm not saying I feel outraged. I'm saying I like the fact that they're actually showing the initiative to create a new character and have,
no more lazy writing.
No more lazy writing. Just you're creating a new character.
No more lazy writing. Exactly.
No more like, hey, let's just make, Captain America Puerto Rican. I mean, And it's like I'd have nothing against that, but it's just kind of like they sit there and they're like, we need to check these boxes and we need to just make Captain America Puerto Rican.
Real quick, guys, that's our invitation to our Discord link. Ain't the most active Discord in the world, but if you guys want to sign up, there you go.
Nice.
Feel free to come on in. Go ahead, Kat.
All right. You want to bring up pick number 17, brings us to some more fun news. We've got Sandrine Holt is taking over the role of Vanessa Fisk in Daredevil Born Again.
Mm-hmm.
Who played Vanessa Fisk originally?
I don't remember her name.
Oh.
I don't even remember Vanessa Fisk.
Chick
right at the end.
I kind of do.
The chick that played Lara in Man of Steel.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Okay, I know you're talking about.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
yeah.
But when you bring up pick 17, it kind of pisses me off a little bit because I thought these two characters were really, really good, particularly for progressing the story in those episodes, and now they're not going to be on there.
I mean, I loved Eldon Henson as Foggy. I really liked Deborah Ann Wool as Karen Page. Apparently, she was very divisive amongst the fans. I loved her, but a lot of people apparently didn't like her. I don't know.
I think a lot of people kind of got stuck with her from her role in Vampires Louisiana True Blood.
Yeah. Oh, True Blood.
Like, if I give myself enough hints, I'll remember it.
Yeah.
It's like playing categories with yourself. So I feel a lot of people, especially when she first kind of came in as more of that like weekend damsel in distress character, which you didn't see as much in the comic for Daredevil as you did in the show.
Well, it depends on which timeline of Daredevil you read, because there were a lot of times where Karen Page was a damsel in distress.
True.
But she didn't wallow in the victim of it.
There were some where she did.
But she usually, and so I think that was where people were trying to have a problem is like up until like really the last few episodes of Daredevil, did she really find her footing out of the fear?
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. But I think they should bring her back to do that, because I think she was playing I think she was a good Karen Page.
All right, so we also have Empower coming to Disney Plus. We have
say that again. What's coming to Disney Plus?
Empower?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Basically, it's just a documentary about some of the women in Marvel. Basically,
yeah,
like women superheroes, women who wrote, women what?
Yeah, both really. I mean, it's about specific actors, but it also talks about some of the women behind the camera too.
Okay.
Is it about any of the women who did the comics?
No, just the movies. MCU.
Because Disney doesn't have the rights to the comics.
They do.
Not all of them. They have right to the content to use it for film, but like when you still purchase comics, they're not comics aren't Disney comics.
Yes, they are.
Marvel they are.
Marvel.
No, but they're not.
Disney
they're not labeled.
owns Marvel.
But they're not labeled as a Disney property.
No,
if you read that fine print, they are.
They just let Disney. They just let Marvel do whatever they want with the comics, but everything else.
It's kind of like when you see something and it says Lucasfilm.
I mean, if you
but
read
I have a feeling
if you read a Marvel comic, you see Disney Disney ads. Like they own.
Empower though is specifically talking Disney. And then the MCU universe in the films.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Okay.
All right.
I got you. That makes sense.
We also have some rumors that James Spader is going to return as Ultron in the Armor Wars.
That brings back bad memories.
Well, it happens.
Avengers: Age of Ultron and his endless list of monologues.
Well, that's how you knew he was the villain, because he monologued too much.
Like, endless.
Oh my god!
Like, I'm sitting there. I remember that was when I took my wife to Universal Studios, and we weren't married yet. And I was like, we went to the AMC there, and I was like, how many monologues? This is worse than a Bond villain, and he's a robot. Like, how many robots? How many monologues is this robot going to give us? I get it. You hate us. Just kill me so I don't have to keep watching this movie.
Well, that's why ChatGPT can actually write like an entire curriculum for a college course. It's the monologuing. They just don't have a stop point. So if we go to pick number 1, we've got some Madam Web news.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I feel about this though.
So Sydney Sweeney is going to be reportedly playing a second version of Julia Carpenter's Spider-Woman in Madam Web.
Okay. I get it.
Is that the girl from the White Lotus?
I haven't
no.
seen that one yet.
No.
That's the girl from Euphoria.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in White Lotus too. She sucks.
Well,
She has-
She might be right in this role though.
Written poorly.
She has one tone. She's one of those. She talks like Paris Hilton.
She might be right in this role though.
Yeah, you never know.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I'm willing to give this a chance because you hadn't seen Spider-Woman anywhere else but her own little 70 cartoon show.
yeah, I mean, if Spider-Woman came out to me and I was a criminal, it was like,
didn't we see her win, Shaw?
What happened?
Yeah. Because I thought we
mean,
only saw Spider-Woman in her little 70s show. We saw Gwen.
Yeah, so when she's playing the one from the Iron Man cartoon back in the day.
Iron Man cartoon back in the day with
Yeah,
the
the one that has psychic powers.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, just going by how that actress talks, if Spider-Woman came out to me and I was like robbing a bank, and she was like, "You like totally robbed a bank," and that's just not cool.
People also had like their doubts about Jason Momoa as Aquaman, but it turned out his abs saved the whole movie.
Listen,
got a redeeming quality somewhere.
You do realize we have a show planned where you talk about Jason Momoa and Debbie talks about Harrison Ford.
Yes, we do have a show planned for that. We do. We actually do. We actually do.
What are you guys going to call it? The Thirst Trap?
Yes. we were looking for a title. You just gave it to us.
We do have a show planned for that. We really do. I keep telling Debbie she gonna get Harrison Ford beat up. I keep telling her that.
Yo, Harrison Ford is
Thirsty Thursdays.
Harrison Ford is gonna get in a car accident on a mountain, and Debbie's gonna be sitting there with a sledgehammer like Kathy Bates. Like, yes.
I'm sorry, but seriously, if you ask anybody, they will tell you. Aquaman. Nobody watched Aquaman for the story. The story is trash.
Oh, real quick.
I watched it for Amber Heard. Her acting skills are superior.
Quit lying to yourself.
Quit lying. Quit being sarcastic, sir.
Her dog stepped on a bee.
Hey, real quick, in case y'all missed it, and I know she's not here to defend herself, but it's so doggone funny. I did keep it. And Ambrose, you know what I'm talking about because you were with me.
Yo, come on, man. She's not on the show.
Because you were with me on a really good podcast. I got to.
You gotta hold her till she's at least here to defend herself.
Yeah. I'll show y'all later.
Yeah,
I've got no shame in my game, so
It's so funny.
She's not on the show to defend herself. You can't. You got to play fair, man.
Yeah, I'll play fair this time.
All right. So, MCU head Kevin Feige and Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins were originally put on Star Wars film projects, but their films are reportedly no longer in active development.
The hell you want Patty Jenkins on anything Star Wars?
Obviously they don't any longer because they're still keeping and I can never pronounce his name right.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah. Okay, I pronounced it right then. But his projects are still totally greenlit.
I don't think they will be for long.
I'm not sure who he's got dirt on, but whatever.
No, I think they're doing this piecemeal. I think Bob Iger came in and he's realizing the error of his ways because he greenlit all this crap.
Well,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was her
I
catchphrase, was like robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, I think he's saying. I think he's finally pulling the throttle because it's damaging the brand. That's why Marvel's having. He cut a lot of Marvel stuff already. He's gonna cut a lot of Star Wars stuff. He's and Taika's next after Thor: Love and Thunder. Taika's stock has dropped.
I still have the Bad movie had the best soundtrack so far.
I hated that movie.
I mean, I really like Taika Waititi when he's allowed to run free. Like Jojo Rabbit was a great movie, but he also doesn't know when to stop. He needs someone to be like, pull the throttle.
Who are here like Thor: Love and Thunder? Who liked that movie?
I enjoyed it.
I couldn't stand that movie. It's
been better, yeah.
Is it because Chris Hemsworth has a better ass than you?
Dang.
How many times is Thor gonna leave to find himself?
He's like Jesus. He keeps going missing.
I mean, how many times is Thor just gonna wander like Pablo Escobar in Narcos season 2?
Oh, he did say Pablo Escobar.
And just sit there with like his hand on his hips, staring into the distance.
The movie.
He's wondering why all the rum is gone. It's fine. He'll find
I mean, what it was, man.
It's like after Thor 2, he just kept leaving to find himself. Maybe it's like this isn't this like why you're Thor, you're a god, you don't need to find yourself, you're there, just you know, whip your hammer around and fly into something and knock Mark Ruffalo out and replace him with Edward Norton again.
You bugging.
Nah, Mark Ruffalo sucks. I will stand by that. Down with Soy
you bugging.
No,
but the thing is, if it was Edward Norton, there would be because he basically acts like how Tony Stark acts, and that'd be a lot going on.
Yeah.
But
did the whole "I'm a humble scientist" kind of vibe, and so it blended very nicely. I don't like, and I like Edward Norton's Hulk and stuff, but I don't think the way he proceeded Bannon, it would have worked at all.
He is Soy Hulk. Mark Ruffalo sucks as Hulk. It's like he's awful. He is the worst. I would rather bring Eric Bana back.
I will give him credit, though. I will give him credit.
I'm sorry.
Are you jealous that he has bigger muscles than you?
One, give him props, I need to have muscles for someone to have bigger muscles than me. So no, these are stick arms. Okay.
I will give him props. He is a really good Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
I don't like him as Bruce
I think
Banner.
He's a really good Bruce Banner. I really think he's a good Banner.
I don't. I think I think Bruce Banner is more conflicted. I think Bruce Banner is the most complex character in Marvel lore. And I think they need to bring a good actor on. And Mark Ruffalo just always looks like he's gonna cry. Like he always looks like he's gonna cry. He's always like, but you know, She-Hulk, I'm sorry. I was in the car with you. We were in an accident. Now you're She-Hulk.
Well,
okay.
That's a different dynamic, though. They're cousins.
Which is totally another show.
No, but I mean, that's just him. He's Soy Hulk.
We get into that later.
Oh, God. No, we need a new Hulk. We need a new Hulk now.
Okay, so petition Disney for a new Hulk. Right?
I will, and I'll win.
Go stand out there with your clipboard and get your signature for your petition.
Like those ever
He'll
work.
do it too.
I'll do it.
Ambrose he'll do it.
I'll fly out to LA. Geek News Now can record it. And I'll be like, new Hulk petition. New Hulk petition.
He'll be out there with his picket sign and everything. All right. Let's go ahead and move on, guys.
So Disney has now revealed that Avatar Way of Water will be available for purchase on all major digital platforms starting on March 28th. Damn. So you can now watch Black Panther 2 and Black Panther 2 with Blue People as of March 28th.
Yeah. And Ferngully 2?
I call it Ferngully 2 Electric Boogaloo.
No, that was the first one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because the second one is the land people are fighting the water people over a mineral.
Yeah, but Namor isn't in it.
No, it's Namor.
It's Namor, as in don't come around here, Namor.
Over there,
Nate.
obviously somebody can obtain. Well, they wouldn't be having a war for something that is unobtainium.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
All
oh
right.
my goodness.
Now
James Cameron's just sitting there in the back, like, whatever. I made money off of Terminator.
I got my money, so it's all good.
I don't care.
we have some fun Batman news.
Oh, great.
So, after being scrapped by HBO Max, Batman the Caped Crusader has officially been picked up by Amazon with a 2-season order. So I'm not sure if season 1's going to involve dead parents or not, but I can guess that it probably will.
Damn.
This is going to be followed by James Gunn. News about James Gunn is now going to be the director of DC Studios' Superman Legacy, the movie.
Okay,
I'm kind of concerned.
I have to speak very quietly because my wife just texted me that I'm screaming. I'm apparently getting a little too enthusiastic. But
that was funny when she came on the show that time.
I'm surprised she didn't. I'm honestly surprised she didn't this time.
Well, because you probably paid attention to your text messages this time. So she's like, he's ignored my text messages for 20 minutes. Let me hop in the chat on the show and tell him, make them and tell the world.
James Gunn is not a Superman director.
I have my concerns with it too.
James Gunn is a DC director.
James Gunn, I have
my concerns with that too. I really do.
I really thought he was going to kind of be ahead of it and kind of direct people to do things. I don't like him. It takes a special person for something like Superman to be made, especially with how mishandled the property has been over the last bunch of years. And I just don't think he's the guy for it. And I think he's taken on too much to do it.
I'm not a Superman fan by any stretch. I'm more of a Supergirl person, but I got concerns too. But we'll see what happens.
I'm more for General Zod.
You would be for General Zod. You would be.
Give me some Bizarro World and a General Zod series, and you got my attention.
What we got up next, Kat?
All right. If you want to bring up picks 13 through 16, we have some new Joker picks.
Yep.
Are they rap battling?
No, I think it's going to be an epic breakdancing battle.
There you go, break the egg. Yeah.
I haven't seen Joaquin Phoenix's Joker yet.
Or is that for hopscotch?
Wait, why is go back to the other picture? Why is that Joker so much bigger than that Joker? That's like Ronald. That's like this.
Double. They're taking the pictures from further away.
Oh, that's like the Burger King and Ronald McDonald.
Damn. You might be right.
Well, I mean, he can't be sad all the time.
True.
All right. So we also have some fun news if you want to, in regards to Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revolution.
Oh, great. Is he crying again?
No, this is actually a new voice actress has been cast as Melissa Benoist. Is going to be voicing the heroine Tila.
Yes.
Which I mean, she's a good character, so I can't even be mad about that.
They need to work on her though.
They do.
Cause oh my god, she don't look right.
Yeah, they'll have to figure that out.
They gotta figure that out.
What, Tila?
Yeah, she don't look.
The animation style isn't.
Yeah, she looks like my she looks like my high school health teacher.
Oh no.
Did they change the animation style? Because wasn't it more like a Castlevania animation style?
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, I haven't seen the pictures.
It didn't look good. I mean, maybe I'm a little old school, but the original Tila looked a whole lot better than the new one.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my problems
still a badass, but she looked more ladylike.
Yeah.
I have my problems with the show because people predicted it. Kevin Smith ruined a lot of YouTubers and came out and screamed and rallied against him when everybody was like, this is what's going to happen with the show. And Kevin Smith went on and cried, and his eyes got as red as the devil's wang. And then he was, screaming people down and shouting them down. And this is where we are, and everyone predicted it. But Kevin Smith ruined a lot of YouTubers to get to this point.
So for the record, though, and this kind of gets down to what I've always said about social media. Everybody has an opinion. If Kevin Smith doesn't like your opinion and he wants to yell at you, you have two choices.
But at this point, it wasn't. But at this point, it was a fact, and he was yelling at you and telling you it was false while the show was going on, and it became a fact.
But here's the thing with that. You have two choices as a YouTuber at that point. You either say, okay, I put my opinions out there on the internet.
But they weren't opinions, they were facts.
Either way, the way they perceive the facts, they put it out there for the world.
Okay.
Not everyone's going to see your truth the same way.
Mm-hmm.
They saw the show.
But if that was not...
But they saw the show. Yeah, I know.
Give me a minute.
Okay. Did you spray me like a cat?
So,
let me get the newspaper.
If you go out and you openly criticize something, you have to know, I know at any point in time, someone could come on here and be like, that woman right there is absolutely crazy and out of her mind. Okay, fine. But you have to decide at that point if you're going to cave into the demands of this other person or if you're going to stand your ground. And that is something that being on YouTube, TikTok, any social media platform, you have the right to say whatever you want. But other people also have the right to come in and say whatever they want to attack you.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there. My opinion of Hawkeye, I get killed for it every day. My opinion of Cyclops, Scott Summers, I get killed every day. And definitely my opinion of Sailor Venus, I get killed every day.
Yeah.
But we've all been there. But my thing is, when people are getting reports on the show and the show is on and they're reporting on the show and saying He-Man is pretty much deactivated and Kevin Smith is publicly discrediting them while the show is going on in real time.
But here's the catch. The show wasn't ever He-Man. It was Masters of the Universe.
Right. It wasn't He-Man.
It was still
Who was the show? Who was the show marketed to? It wasn't fans of Orko.
But it was titled Masters of the Universe.
But when you look at Masters, when you look at Masters of the Universe,
He-Man, though.
But when you look at Masters of the Universe, there's nothing wrong with putting shine on the rest of the cast. See, that's one thing that killed Dragon Ball. The minute you made Goku and Vegeta Super Saiyans and going to Super Saiyan Guy, Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, once you did all that, you killed the need for the rest of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, but when Kevin Smith is saying, no, we're not going to kill off He-Man, we're not going to kill off He-Man, He-Man's the main focus of the show, we're not going to do it, you guys are lying, you guys are lying, you guys are lying. And then in the second episode, He-Man's gone.
But then he came back when they transferred into the realm with the other Masters of the Universe.
Right. And that's when you that's what you have to do as a content creator. You have to stand your ground at that point because you are only speaking on what you see. Mm-hmm. You have to stand your ground. You just can't wuss out at that point. If that's your opinion, stick by your opinion, stick by your guns and move forward no matter who says what.
I just think I just lost a lot of respect for Kevin Smith over this span of time with this.
If you don't lose respect for Kevin Spacey, you lose respect for his lack of creativity. I was lose respect for him.
Oh well, I never really respected Kevin Spacey after Superman.
Lose respect for that. Don't worry about the social media garbage.
But Kevin Smith, though, I lost a lot of respect for him. I lost a lot of respect for him after he cried at a Star Wars trailer.
That too.
You're a grown man.
That too.
You're dressed like a kid who got too fat for his rollerblades.
All right, what else we got, Kat?
All right. Well, so we've touched on, of course, that I was not here last week because I was out in New Braunfels, Texas, at Hill Country Comic Con. Now, one of the things that was really exciting about this is that they had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reunion.
Ooh.
So you had Townsend Coleman, you had Cam Clark, you had Barry Gordon, Rob Paulson, and Renee Jacobs all there, and they were the voice actors for the original cartoon cast.
Mm-hmm.
They were there signing autographs, taking photos.
Awesome.
Yeah, doing panels. And for those of you, I know there are a lot of people that maybe because of just the times we live in, maybe you've never been to a Comic-Con. Maybe you haven't found an event in your area, or you're not sure like what's really the big deal about these events. So it's not only the big thing about these events isn't just the opportunity to interact with these celebrities, which Rob Paulson I've met on a couple different occasions. He is a gem. He is wonderful. I somewhere still have a video recording of him doing Yakko's America.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. From when he was at Alamo City Comic-Con here in San Antonio. But there's so much more to Comic-Con than just like the celebrities. Another thing that really kind of which like, you know, you can kind of see like, for example, like, you know, my little Mars Attacks behind me here. For those of you that can't tell, that's Mars Attacks attacking the Alamo. That is actually from a local artist here in San Antonio. It's painted. I watched him live painted at an event, and I bought it.
Nice.
And I framed it. I took it in and framed it and everything. But there's a lot of fan art and things that you can get at events, and art that you wouldn't even be exposed to if you weren't there. This here, amazing piece of artwork.
Oh,
it is Goliath and Batman.
Gargoyles.
And Batman.
Yeah, so he does these amazing like geek mashups, and on top of it, this guy's a Navy veteran.
That's cool.
So you guys know that veterans have a very warm place in my heart. His name is Alan Williams II. And he does these in color. He has some in black and white. He does all kinds of amazing, like old school and new school mashups.
Cool.
You know, but this is the kind of things you don't get unless you're actually going out to some of these events, because these are local artists. This is a brand new comic company out of the San Antonio, Austin area called Child's Play Comics.
That looks cool.
This is Malia Mayhem. And this is one of their #1 comics that they have actually self-published under their own brand.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So this is like a comic you wouldn't even find in like comic book shops yet.
Yeah.
Someday it's going to expand out, definitely. But you know, you miss out on those kinds of things too. Let me see, what other goodies do I have? Like these here, these are super cute. Little Star Wars earrings with R2-D2 and Grogu.
Awesome.
And
nice.
You've got in the background, you've got Boba Fett, and you've got like
those
Din
are super
Djarin.
nice.
Yeah. And these are actually from a company called Mish Originals. So like these are things that unless you're going to a convention in Texas, you may not even get, because some of these folks are local to the Texas area.
Right.
These are so super comfy. I have a pair not in this pattern. These are leggings. These are Spy Family. So anime.
Yeah, I remember them.
Leggings.
Yeah.
From a company called The Legging Lass. And like even like authors, you'll run into like folks that have written books. And so this is a little bit of like a cyberpunk anime type thing called Hope, Last Year's Model.
Okay.
It's about a robot who's about to be replaced by another model robot, and like the rivalry and then partnership that they end up finding. So, but this is where it gets kind of sad for me, because all this cool stuff, none of this is staying in my collection. Everything that I have shown you is going to be going into a giveaway for fans of Geek News Now.
That's awesome.
We haven't set the date. This is the tip of the iceberg, guys. Like there are so many. I've got candles. I've got more comics. I've got more art. All kinds of cool stuff is going to go into this giveaway for you guys. And so in order to stay tuned for that, make sure you're following Geek News Now over on Facebook and Instagram.
And
we're gonna
Twitter.
make sure that all of our folks that have stuff in this drawing are tagged. That way you can go check out their art. Like, oh, some of the art that was done by Mr. Adams, like, oh, we did pick up pieces for our own private collection. We did. Because, well, you know, veterans support veterans, and anywhere I go, my husband's always going to find all the other sailors. Because, yeah, he's a Navy veteran, and so, you know, they had a really nice long chat. So, yeah, make sure, like I said, these are just some of the fun things. These are more of the material kind of like consumer items. But some of these things you won't find anywhere else other than at a Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to find, you know, like I said, eventually, could this comic maybe end up in national publication? Absolutely.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah. But it may be years, so you may miss out on like an entire like 200 copies of that comic that were only available in Texas.
Mm.
Art like this, unless this artist is traveling or you're going to their website, you're not going to find this art. And like I said, it's this really cool mashup with Gargoyles, sorry about the glare, guys, and Batman.
That's awesome.
Like,
yeah.
And so make sure you go over to the Facebook page at Geek News Now and follow us on Instagram as well, because it'll be announced at both of those places. And like I said, we're going to make sure that everybody who has items in that drawing is tagged, so that way you can go out to their websites, help support those businesses, those geek businesses that, you know, that have items in that giveaway, or, you know, hey, enter the giveaway yourself, because like I said, you're going to get some really cool stuff. There is so much cool stuff there waiting for people.
Cool.
But yeah, so that's really kind of fun and exciting, and that should be coming up here soon. We're just working on the details and getting all that set up, and then we'll also make sure that once it is announced, we'll include like links down in that little comment section. So that description,
yes,
it's important. There's going to be links there. Read it.
Is there going to be
like
cat exclusive
like
stuff?
sausage links?
There are not. There are not going to be exclusives of mine in there, because this is specific to like Hill Country Comic Con. So,
and real quick too, keep it also on our community tab, GN's community tab. You'll probably find the same links there too as well. So keep that in mind also.
All right. And so, like I said, we talked about the anniversary of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The star-studded voice cast of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem has been announced by Seth Rogen at the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards. Do you want to bring up pictures 2 and 12?
Yep.
Oh boy.
That's that
so
one.
Yeah, that's moving forward. So that should be really exciting.
2, 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, got that one. You got this one.
I'm still not sure how I feel about the art style, but we'll work it out.
Yeah.
Why is Raphael missing a tooth? Is he Mike Tyson?
So I do like. I'm not gonna lie. I do like Jackie Chan as Master Splinter.
I do too. It seems to fit him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse animation.
Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
Is that Ernest?
John Cena as Rocksteady is going to be pretty epic.
Ernest. Oh man.
Oh, great, Ant-Man.
Like, I feel like Giancarlo Esposito just never turns down a script.
I feel like Giancarlo Esposito is just like, oh, it's a villain role. I'll take it.
He got a thing called he like the rest of us. He got things called bills.
Well, that's true.
Oh, you know. Post Malone is in it. I'm sold. Oh, Hannibal Buress is in it. I'm actually
Dingus
sold.
Frog, nice.
Nah, I'm not sold on it.
I'm just gonna say this: did she not get enough M&M monies? So she now has to be in.
They paid her in M&Ms, you know.
That is true.
That's what it was. She didn't read her contract, and she was only paid in candy. So now she's too. She's not.
Wait, what happened? Oh yeah, she's really not funny.
She really ain't.
She's the new spokesperson for M&Ms. They took out the cartoon people.
I don't know how I still don't understand why they did that, but it's all good. Shout out to my girl Melissa Benoist. She will always be my Supergirl. Shout out to her. This is what she does with Masters Universe.
Still am not sold on the Ninja Turtles cartoon though.
The way
I'm just not sold on the art style.
The way they look is weird.
I mean, Raphael looks like Mike Tyson. It's Seth Rogen's really hit and miss, and like really, really hit and miss.
Well, but I think in a role like Rocksteady and Bebop, that's why I'm okay with Cena being involved. Those characters, they were slapstick to begin with.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm okay with it. Like, they were not serious villain. They were not these serious. No, they were comic relief.
Right.
As much as I love those characters, they were comic relief.
Right.
Well,
all right. So,
we gotta. I wanted to about that. It's like, well, one of my brother's friends. He's like, I realize I'm a 41-year-old man, and this isn't actually catered to me. So, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it might go good with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my kids watched it, and my daughter didn't like it and didn't understand why they sounded. And like she's only seen the computer generated movie, the TMNT one.
Oh.
She hasn't seen the original cartoon. She hasn't seen the original movies or anything.
So Michael Bay already destroyed her childhood.
No, she hasn't seen Michael Bay.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the animated one right after.
Animated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad, to be honest.
She's only seen that one. And so she didn't understand why it was this art style. She didn't like how their voices were. She just didn't like how they acted in general. And so...
Man,
but she was okay with Mario, the Mario trailer, and she loved the Sonic movies. So.
Man,
how old is your kid?
She's a tough little critic, boy.
She'll be 8.
Oh,
she a tough
that kid
little
is.
critic,
I'll be like, hey, what did you think of Goodfellas? Well, I thought the dialogue was really a little bit off for the time period, but they had the cars were good and the wardrobe was good, but the dialogue, they didn't talk like that in the 70s.
A tough little critic. They need to let her criticize everything.
So
they need to let her criticize everything. Review this, review that. Let us know what you think.
Right?
Shoot.
Child corner review of the day.
There you go. And we got one more piece of breaking news, and then we'll save our topics for next week.
So, based on the show that shall not be named, this news doesn't surprise me any.
Oh, God.
Warner Brothers has canceled the Scooby-Doo DC crossover film in its entirety at this point.
It was leaked.
That could be true. That
could be why.
It was leaked. I just read it was leaked. It was leaked online, and a lot of people watched it and are wondering why the other show that shall not be named is getting a second season.
Because it got aired on somebody.
Facts.
I just like the meme that Shaw posted where it was old Velma smacking new Velma.
That was funny.
Across the face. I love that.
That was funny.
That was good.
That was super funny. All right, real quick. Don't forget to check out shadowanime.com. That's our sponsor for the show. Head on over there. It's your one-stop shop for all your anime needs. Gauntlet Geek 5 is a promo code. You save 5% off your total order. Head over there to shadowanime.com. Get something for your daughter, your son, yourself. They got a big selection, so head on over there. And let's go around the room and see what everybody has going on. Ambrose, what you got going on for this week?
Well, I'm going to pray for the masses since Velma has the second season coming. Other than that, I'm miserable. It's Lent. I'm writing a couple of articles. I've had one pushed back. I don't like publishing on the weekend, so I'll have an article on Kathleen Kennedy published on Monday.
Oh, cool.
It's Women's History Month, so respect your female filmmakers, your content creators, everything. Just a lot of ladies that need recognition working hard out there. And like I said earlier in the show, March 25th, live stream, Retro and Wolf, YouTube. It's for a good cause. So tune in, watch them play, and if they hit a goal, I think Devin's gonna shave his head in solidarity with his cousin. So it's gonna be a big to do. So well,
Just remember for the woman month, Sailor Venus does not fall under that. So feel free to criticize her all day long. She don't count. Brie Larson don't count neither. I don't care what D Graham say. Brie Larson don't count neither. So you can go ahead and trash on her. Continue to trash on her.
yes,
That little car commercial. Go on, trash on her. Trash on her. Feel free.
I will not buy a Nissan. They clearly do not make car seats that are comfortable for people with asses.
Oh my goodness. Diamond, what you got coming up this week?
I'm gonna crank out more Mass Effect gameplay and more Yakuza gameplay.
Cool. Kat, what you got coming up this week for GNN?
All right, so for GNN, I'm going to be having some interviews posted up from my time out at Hill Country Comic Con. I spoke with a really great cosplayer out there who's local to the Texas area, named Laura Ray Cosplay. I also had an opportunity to interview two of the writers for Antarctic Comics. They are another indie comic company that are right here in the Texas area. And actually, they've got some really cool. There's some really cool art of theirs that's actually going to be in our giveaway. It's art that is very limited because it was originally drawn for a project for Emerald City Comic Con. That after it was all said and done, they're like, "Oh yeah, we didn't get enough other artists to participate, so sorry." So they printed up enough for that show. It was done for Emerald City Comic Con, so they're not doing anymore.
Oh my god, that sucks.
And I have that art for our giveaway.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That's awesome. But I mean, that just sucks. They did all that work, and it's like, nope.
Well, I mean, we're not going to let it go to waste, right? Because we have it for our fans.
Yes.
And they're going to get to know more about
these
guys. Also, this weekend, if you are in the San Antonio, Austin area, tomorrow is the last day of Alamo HeroCon up at the Shirt Civic Center. So I will be out there with Heroes and Villains of Cosplay. We're a local cosplay group here in Texas. So come on out there, get some autographs from the cast of Supernatural, and say hi.
Awesome. Janae, what you got coming up this week?
And the cast of Supernatural never comes to Maryland.
Ambrose said that thing personal.
Oh, speaking of Supernatural, I got like a bullet rock salt from my friend.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
It's really cool.
All right, Janae, what you got coming up this week?
I'm just reposting stuff on my Instagram stories at JLXNB on Instagram, and just working on some personal projects that I have that people have commissioned. So
cool. All right. Shaw, what you got coming up this week?
Nothing really. Just watching some old shows, and that's it.
Awesome. All right, you guys. If there is nothing else, I know we ran a little bit long tonight, so please forgive me, but we was having such a conversation. I just couldn't kill it early. So please forgive me for that. I do apologize.
Holy crap, did we go to 2 hours?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. We went to 2 hours tonight, so but it's content that fits. If you're on a long train ride, long bus ride, something like that, there you go. We got you covered. So,
It's better than Velma.
Listening to the podcast over on Podbean. Where else are we, William, that they can listen to us?
Better than Velma. Yes, you can listen to us. You can listen to us everywhere. We're on YouTube. Check us out, GNN, Geek News Now. Don't type in GNN, Geek News Now, and search on YouTube. Check out all our shows there. We have 7 of them, including this fine show. MCU Mondays, Cantina Happy Hour, Geek Gauntlet, Wolf's Tavern hopefully will be coming back soon. Light and Lights, Captain's Light, Logs and Lifesavers, hopefully that'll be back. Post New Cam and Focus, really good podcast. Got a lot going on, Stephanie. Check us out over there. Also check out the Geek News Now podcast channel over on Podbean. So we'll have all our shows there as well. You can also go over to the website. And Ambrose, you want to tell them more about that?
Yeah, you go to the website, you hit the drop-down menu, you'll see a option that says Pure GNN, and you get to sample. Like you'll see this show tomorrow on there, and you will see anything that we do will be on there, and you can sample it, and then you can come back here on YouTube or Twitch or whatever you want to watch us on, and you can subscribe and you can have fun and you can participate in these awesome giveaways that Kat has set up once we get them organized. So please go to the website, check us out, come back, subscribe, and we're fans creating for fans. So
yes, like, comment, and subscribe. All our shows. Definitely check us out. All right, you guys. If there's nothing else, I want everyone to have a good week. Have a safe week. We'll be right back here, same back time, same back channel, for another episode of the Geek Gauntlet podcast. Everyone have a great week. Have a safe week, and take care. Later, guys.